Brent here from American English with this guy, and this is a real English lesson. I do this for my students almost every day, and you are going to be getting a very authentic, a very real English lesson by an American English teacher for free. It's almost like you're in my class. And today, in the Northern Hemisphere, so the northern half of the world, it is the winter solstice. So it's December 21st, shortest day of the year. And I have an article that we are going to read together. Reading and listening, those are two of the best ways to help you improve your English. And that's what we're going to do here. So let's take a look at this article. There will be a link in the description below. And this is from Dogo News. I like to use this because the English is simple, but just hard enough that I think you will learn some new vocabulary here, even if you are an advanced English student, or at least intermediate. There are actually a couple words that I didn't know in this article that I had to look up, and hopefully I will pronounce them correctly. So yeah, it's a difficult article. So the winter solstice explained. We got 504 words here, so not too bad. That obviously is a picture of a winter scene. So on Tuesday, December 21st, Northern Hemisphere residents will enjoy the shortest day of 2021. So let's talk about hemisphere. It literally translates to half a circle. So we're talking about the top half of the earth. So where I live in the United States, Germany, Italy, Russia, China, Japan, Korea, Northern Hemisphere, Poland, Southern Hemisphere. It's our friends in Brazil, Argentina, Peru. We'll be talking about the Southern Hemisphere in a minute because you all are celebrating summer, and I'm jealous. All right, let's continue reading. Next sentence. Known as the winter solstice, it marks the start of the astronomical winter season. Anytime you see astronomical, whoops, it's actually, I guess, going to load it for us. Think of something to do with space, okay? Think of something to do with space, astronomical. All right, let's get out of that. How do I get out of here? Boom. And that happens in my real English classes too. Sometimes I don't know how to work the screen because I'm old, a boomer. This means that while the days following will grow longer, they will also be colder. Not fun if you don't like the winter. Conversely, that's a very fancy way in English to say like the opposite is true. Conversely, Southern Hemisphere residents will celebrate the summer solstice, the beginning of their astronomical summer, with the longest day and the shortest night of the year. Now, this is the one that I actually had to look up because I've never seen this word before. The disparate, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. I had to look it up. The disparate seasons result from the Earth's rotation around the sun and its own axis. It's just another way to say like the opposite. We also might say polar opposite in English, the exact opposite, which is tilted at a 23.5 degree angle. So you probably know this, but the Earth is kind of like tilted. So we, right now in the Northern Hemisphere, we are a little further away from the sun than everyone in the Southern Hemisphere. A little bit of science there for you with English class. The December solstice marks the time when the Northern Hemisphere is farthest away from the sun. Hence, it receives significantly less sunlight than the Southern Hemisphere, which is tilted towards the star. So significantly, just think like a lot. It's another way to say a lot more or something like that, because it receives significantly less, like a lot less. The solstice date varies, so changes a little bit, varies slightly from year to year, and can fall anywhere from December 20th to 23rd. That's because the Gregorian calendar has 365 days. Now, you will probably never use Gregorian, but that's the calendar that we use in the United States, starting in January, ending in December. I think Iran, maybe Afghanistan, China. I think there are a few countries in the world that don't use the Gregorian calendar, but I think most of us do, with an extra leap day every 4 years. So every 4 years, we'll have a leap. We call it a leap year. And it is usually, for us in the United States, it's February 29th, that extra day. We call it leap day or leap year. It does not correspond precisely with the solar year, which lasts 365.2422 days. So about 365 and a quarter days. Throughout the entire day, I'm sorry, I messed that up. Though the entire day is celebrated, the solstice occurs when the sun reaches its southernmost point in the sky. In 2021, that will be at 10:59 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's basically how we say New York time, which is what I'm on. That's Eastern Standard Time. And this is Pacific, because of the Pacific Ocean. Pacific Standard Time, which is where Los Angeles is. The winter solstice was particularly significant for ancient cultures. Significant means very important. I'm watching the time because I actually have students coming in about 10 minutes. Like, that's how real this lesson is. Like, you are my first class. It's an empty classroom. And I got to hurry because students are coming in. So I hope you're enjoying the lesson. If you are, do you mind hitting that like button? Let's get back on with the lesson. Hopefully I don't forget where I'm at. The longer days that followed provided comfort that the sun had not left them. The star's rebirth was marked with elaborate ceremonies performed at structures specifically built for the occasion. So that's a pretty difficult sentence, I think. But a structure would be some kind of a building, maybe, or maybe like if you know Stonehenge in England, that's a structure that's made out of stone, Stonehenge. So that might have been made for the summer or winter solstice. I'm not sure. Among the most there we go. Among the most famous is Stonehenge in Wiltshire, England. The prehistoric, actually I mentioned this in one of my recent videos about large things. Prehistoric, it literally means before history was written down. The prehistoric, I didn't mean to do that. The prehistoric religious site comprises a modest circle of stones precisely, another way to say exactly, aligned in the direction of the summer solstice's sunrise and the winter solstice's sunset. That is a very hard word to say when you put an S at the end. Solstice, solstices. You have to like emphasize that S, solstices. The ancient monument still attracts hundreds of people during the solstices. I don't know if you actually have to bob your head up and down as much as I'm doing when I say solstices, but it might help. Solstices. It's just like clothes. That's a hard word to say. Clothing, not so hard. Clothes. English, right? And I'm sure in your language you have some weird things that you have to say. Solstices. Luckily, that's not a very common word. Solstices. All right, let's make this bigger here. right at the bottom, like two more paragraphs, I think, right? No, three more. This one is going to give me a hard time, and you will probably laugh at me if you are Korean or Japanese, because I have to say some words in your language that I'm sure I will butcher. So if you butcher a word, it means you mispronounce it. I'm sure I will do that. Newgrange, a burial mound in Ireland's Boyne Valley, is also a popular solstice destination. The massive, another way to say big, the massive stone structure, which dates back over 5,000 years, is designed to receive a ray of light into its central chamber at the dawn of the winter solstice. While the event is closed to visitors due to the pandemic, the breathtaking sunrise, breathtaking, it literally takes your breath away. You like looking at it so much, it's such a great sight to look at, it takes your breath away. The breathtaking sunrise will be live streamed from the chamber from December 20th to 22nd, 2021. Many cities and towns have started their own winter solstice traditions. In Japan, residents and even some zoo animals soak in hot baths filled with yuzu. I don't know what that is, but guess what? If I keep reading, I know that it is a citrus fruit reputed to provide the body immunity from colds. Oh my gosh, that's pretty hard right there. So, reputed, it means like people have said this, probably for a long period of time. Reputed. And immunity, if you are immune to something, it means it can't hurt you. So, you are less likely to get sick if your body has a good immunity system or a good immune system. We'll change it to immune, but immunity means it's not going to hurt you. In Korea, the winter solstice is called, I'm sorry. If you are watching from Korea, Dongji, that's wrong. I'm sorry. Or Little Lunar New Year, it celebrates the symbolic return of the sun. Many families observe the special day by eating patjuk. I don't know what that is, but if I keep reading, it's a red bean porridge made using azuki beans and rice flour dumplings known as that word right there, shalsim. Again, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm butchering it. I'm sorry, but I at least know they're like little dumplings made from rice flour. Residents also sprinkle the red beans around the house to keep evil spirits at bay. If something is kept at bay, it's kept away from you, so it can't hurt you. The Secret Lantern Society, I'm sure that's what that picture is. The Secret Lantern Society in Vancouver, Canada, marks the winter solstice with processions. That's another way to say like a parade, people marching in line, processions, music, and artistic performances in 4 locations around the city. 2 venues also feature the labyrinths of light. Not an easy word to say. Labyrinths. A labyrinth is like a maze that you can walk through. Maybe you can get lost in it. The stunning displays each comprising, sorry, let me read that again. The stunning displays, each comprising 700 lit candles, are designed to provide visitors with a calming experience. I do believe there is a preposition missing there. Each comprising of 700 lit candles. I think that is a typo, and that does happen sometimes. A typo is if an article is written, but there is a mistake in it. I think that's a typo. I'm blaming the typo on why I read that sentence the wrong way at first. All right, you just experienced a real English lesson with a real English teacher. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.